Good morning, sports betting brethren. It is Thursday, January 13th. Hey, we're going to start off kind of a tour of the day, just give you an example of kind of what a day looks like. And I'm actually in Denver, Colorado. This is Boyd. I'm with sportsbetuniversity.com and partnering up with OddsJam as we try to help beginner and struggling sports bettors learn how to bet like a sharp. When we're up in the morning, first thing, checking this constantly, checking this daily. Did go ahead and put a wager in this morning on the over 137.5 over at Bet Rivers, 4.61% edge, and feel that total in a mainline game with Stanford and Washington State, something we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of money on. We have an odds boost over at Bet Rivers, so we'll take advantage of that. And that's the first game of the day that we hit. You can see here the check mark as we added it to our bet tracker. So we'll scroll on down, see if we can find anything else that we like here. It's again about 8 a.m. in Denver Mountain Time. So we are on this pretty much daily, well, not daily, constantly looking for good wagers, looking for good bets, checking in on the TikTok and the YouTube channel and all the social media with Alex and Randall and Matt and everybody providing content and helping out and helping each other. You know, that's what we're here for. We're all helping each other learn how to get better. One big tip I picked up on from Randall was the depth, the market depth. I know I try to stick to mainline games, bigger markets, NBA, NHL, NFL, things like that. I occasionally get involved in some half, first half, second half kind of wagers, but just kind of scrolling through here and seeing if I can find anything. Again, not too interested in Marshall, Texas, but that's something that you kind of filter and you identify, you understand how you're hunting. So that's going to do it for right now. I'll be on this periodically and do sort of a day's wagers, a day's look in this video for you guys, so you can kind of see what this would kind of look like for yourself if you're using OddsJam consistently to make money as we are, and love it, love it, love it. Okay, guys, here's 9 o'clock a.m. here in Denver, and again, checking about 45 minutes later, kind of updating myself on the OddsJam positive EV page. I've also added, I'm going to go and show you real quick, caught Alex's updates on hockey game, added the Carolina Hurricanes. Actually, he was at -2. I had this at -1.5 a little earlier and put it in with Caesars. I also got an update from OddsJam that I was no longer in a positive EV at Bet Rivers with my Washington State Stanford game, so I actually am going to show you that I cashed that out and refunded it, got my money back, and going to just take that off my list here, so I'll correct this and put refunded. That's the latest update that I did for my early morning, but it's kind of a positive and a negative is getting in early because if things hold true, then you got a good value. If you get an update and you have a sports book that will allow you to cash out or refund, then you can do that with the updates from OddsJam. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, I did add the Carolina Hurricanes. I want to also show you here, I've got Calgary pending tonight. I know that Alex had put on a +155. I think DraftKings picked it up at 165 a day or so ago. So I'm noticing some trends here of looking a day or two ahead, which is getting some good value on some of these, and that's very helpful on those videos. So anyway, we're going to take another quick tour here of the positive EV page, see if there's anything standing out here from the first little session that I tuned in on, and we'll take a look at this, see if there's anything that I'm going to jump on. Again, I try to stick with the major markets. That's just me. It's just my own personal, I guess, trading opinion. Again, trying to look at the depth of the market here with the, so in this case, this would be a possibility between the 15 and 25 and the 4.5, which is nice. I'm not really thrilled about the college hoops here in this point spread, so I'll stay away from it for the time being. Another thing I've created, or you can do, that I kind of like, is if you wanted to, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's take this one. You could add this to your bet tracker, and I just put in kind of a placeholder as kind of a watch list. And so later in the day, if things go well, I'll come back to some of these games that I've had sort of on a watch list, just like you would an investment. You know, you put some of the stocks or some of the options on a watch list, and keep those close by, and monitor them. So that's kind of what I do occasionally in the mornings like this. Is I'll create a watch list, and or go ahead and place the bet like I did earlier on that Stanford total, and have the option to refund it if need be a little bit later in the day if things don't go the way I anticipated. So I don't know. There's some value here, I guess. Under 6.5. Kind of maybe check this game out. Islanders, New Jersey. But you can see some good positive EV here. So things to look at here in the second round of the. This is kind of holding trend-wise true on this under 6.5. You can see how this is kind of a common thread. So that might be something we would consider. Again, maybe put this on the watch list, maybe pull the trigger on it, but that's what you're doing. You know, you're constantly checking these out throughout the course of the day, and giving yourself an opportunity to be in position to take advantage of the value before it hits. And in some of these cases, some of these videos are coming out with Alex a day or two in advance with the NBA and the NHL. You can place those early, and a day or two later, you look like a genius when you get a good price. All right. Okay, guys, back. It's about 10:40 Mountain Time, so it's kind of my third little session stopping in. I do have this on a little bit more than just what I'm videotaping here, but you can see I'm on it all day, constantly. One thing I wanted to point out, because I was kind of noticing a little bit ago, is I was back to the positive EV page and noticing a couple of games I wanted to talk about or show you and bring up. In that, a couple of days ago, Alex hit the Detroit Pistons on a money line, I believe, and they were actually like plus 12, plus 11.5. And I ended up playing that game tailing him, but I took Detroit plus the points and still won that bet. He won it right on a money line, which is fucking outstanding. But my point of that is, I'm kind of there's a point in sort of a lesson I wanted to share that comes up that I'm considering and thinking of, and something along these lines. In that, if you have, in this case, let's say, for example, the Flyers on a money line, and you can get them at plus 245 here at the Superbook here in Colorado, you got a 5.17. Probably going to correlate more with basketball, but I guess the question is it also maybe a game you would play with the points, maybe taking that underdog with the points, if they're considered to be a possible dog, you know, a very active dog, underdog to play on the money line, then why wouldn't you consider taking that with the points and sort of, you know, protect yourself a little bit in that regard? And I found a game earlier that was in that kind of category, and I guess I wanted to bring up those points in this little session, just so that I guess you could understand when you're shopping and doing your research, you're going to find a lot of correlations, a lot of things that sort of like put the puzzle pieces together, and it makes sense. All right. So that's just kind of the point that I wanted to make on that recent experience last day or two. So again, kind of shopping through here, checking anything out. I'm going to hit pause here for a brief minute, do a little research, and if I find one, I'll pull it up and record it. And this way we don't waste time. But I wanted to make those points in correlations and how you shop and look for good bets. Okay, guys, one quick little note here. I didn't play anything during this sort of session. I did want to just point something out here on this North Dakota Western Illinois game. Check this out, that it might be kind of a look-see, and Fox has already went to minus 125. So brings up another point. You know, typically when you see a line move in that direction on the over, I lost a positive EV on that. So it's not going to be a play for me, but I guess I wanted to point out just that when you see some line movement many times, that's sort of a good indicator, not every single time. In some cases, you still may choose to play that game just because you feel like you're on the right path, like you're kind of sniffing it out. But that's another example of what you'll run into when you're shopping, when you're hunting here. And again, you have to move quick. So that's kind of a few notes during this session I wanted to pass along. And we'll be back checking things out here in a little bit as the markets change and update. And I put another section in here. All right, guys, here we go. Boyd and Denver at about 10 after 4 Mountain Time. Kind of making a last scoop through, as I like to do prior to tip-off and prior to the game starting here in the evenings. Again, I was stopping in 2 or 3 times in the morning. Was able to catch Randall's with OddsJam's presentations with YouTube, and always taking notes and learning lots of good things from him and all the other content. I want to make a final scoop, just kind of let you know how you can check in and will need to check in, want to check in multiple times. So we're on this constantly, and I'm just kind of looking through here. Got a little bit going on tonight relative to the lineup, so I'm going to probably call it a day with what I've seen here. I'm not seeing as much NBA, certainly games going on, so I'm going to go with what we have for tonight and take a look at our bet tracker to where we can, what I typically do is copy and paste this to myself, and I'll square this off, copy and paste it, and then send it to my email so I can kind of monitor the games throughout the evening. This was one that I kept on a watch list earlier, decided to not play this game. Again, I looked at the lines here just a bit ago before I taped this or recorded this, and it's something that doesn't seem to have a ton of value at all, so I'm actually just going to delete that. But again, I create sort of a watch list for myself during the course of the morning and early afternoon, and can kind of circle back to that if we decide to make a go at it. But got quite a bit going on tonight, so we will touch base soon again. Hope you found this sort of as a make sense thing as far as how your day can go using OddsJam as a tool to make money in sports betting. All right, guys, appreciate it.